I'm handing over to Minister Clarence Rambharat.
Good morning. Morning. I want to clear up something right away. People have been referring to you as Don and Dion and Don and Dion. So I want to know, Don means finish. which one is it? Let's clear that up first.
Well, good morning. First of all, let me finish the story. Right? So that I am Don and he's Dion. My twin brother is Dion. I always say I separate us.
Right. So
I separate us.
what's the difference between Dion and Don?
I separate us.
That's the I. Thank you very much.
One is Dion is football and I speak. You know, that's what people tell us apart.
Right. So you could talk the game and he could play the game.
Much better than me.
Right.
But
So
I wouldn't tell him so.
This is a very interesting program we have here together with Andrew Lewis, a celebrity, somebody I know very well. But I was talking to you behind the scenes and I was telling you I was in University of the West Indies with your brother Miguel.
Yeah.
And boy, we gave a lot of trouble, And those days were, that is the late 80s into the 90s. Those were extremely different days. Now you're working with young persons. Yeah. And what would you say are the challenges from when you were in school or much younger and the young people that you have to deal with today?
Well, a lot of young people now not focused. I mean, long time we didn't have the internet, and the internet poses a little problem for some of the young people because they really don't understand their value from the internet. I mean, I had a lot of elders around me, teachers and so mentors who helped me earlier on, because I'm 52. Well, I'll be so in a couple of days, right? Who helped me to understand that I do have value and that my true value is not in things, but rather in my relationships with people.
So what would you say are the three most important challenges facing the work that you do with young people and older persons in Trinidad and Tobago? What would be the three challenges?
Well, for example, right now with this pandemic going on, a lot of people have lost hope. And when they lose hope, they lose direction. And when there's no direction, there's no focus.
That is one challenge. What would you say are the other two challenges?
Well, another one is that they don't believe in themselves. So people have trouble in believing in themselves. And if you don't believe in yourself, hardly likely you'll believe in somebody else. And hardly likely then you'll actually discover and live a purpose. And the other challenge, I think, overall, is that there's a lack of opportunity. And sometimes, because of that lack of opportunity, people get negative and there's no positivity. Hence the reason for positive moments with Andrew and Don.
Right, so tell us about positive moments. What does it involve and how is it making a difference?
Well, to answer that question, first of all, let me just give you a quotation. Dreams become a reality for those who do more than dare to dream. Let me say it one more time. Dreams become a reality for those who do more than dare to dream. Andrew was in Spain last year getting ready for the Tokyo Olympics. Andrew, you know, positive guy, really positive guy, when you get to know him personally, called me and said, Don, we need to do something. We have a little platform. I have some platform with students. Andrew and I have taught schools nationally and met thousands of students. We have a little platform. Let's get together. And I said, Andrew, you're talking about positive moments. Why don't we do positive moments with Andrew and Don? And actually it fit in beautifully because it's sponsored by Republic Bank. Republic Bank sponsors us individually and now together as positive moments with Andrew and Don. And their program is called Power to Make a Difference, PMAD. So we thought, why not? Positive moments with Andrew and Don. And it went from there.
Well, as I go around the country interacting with young people and adults, in my first year as minister, I went to about 115 schools across the country, from preschool to the universities, interacted with thousands of young persons, their parents and teachers. And there is a lot of positivity in Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of positive young people. A lot of them I highlight on my Facebook page all the time. But how do you bring the positivity out? How do you get the positive news out in the face of, you know, a pervasiveness of negativity? Negativity seems to sell a little bit more than positivity. How do you rise to that challenge to get the positive out?
Well, in order for me to rise, I have to help them to rise. And for them to rise, I have to go where they are. Many times they look and they say, adults tell us what to be, and especially when the relationships at home, not what it's supposed to be. What I do is I go and I meet them where they are. I don't have to do what they're doing, but I try to understand them. And the minute they feel understood, they're willing to understand me. And then I need to come and tell them there's hope. There's hope, there's a way out. Situations right now might make you feel nowhere, but instead of saying just nowhere, I say now here. That's a staple of my talks. Like I do a lot of things with words. So I say now here. And the only reason now nowhere becomes now here is there's a pause between the now and the here. And every pause, the last three letters in the word pause is use. Every pause has a use. So let's use this time to do something positively.
I've always emphasized the importance of mentorship. I don't think I'd be here today if it wasn't for mentorship. How valuable is mentorship and how important it is to your program?
Well, actually, you're hitting on one of the main topics for our second season, because we had a season 1, which was really webinars, and now we're here, premiering on TTT tomorrow. It's very, very important. Everybody needs to have a mentor and be a mentee to somebody.
Let me ask you, who are your mentors, and when did you have your first mentor?
Anthony Watkins, now called Dr. Watkins.
Right, so he's in his 70s.
All right, so Dr. Watkins, actually, he took me on when I left banking. I had 19 years of banking, and he took me on as one of his young proteges, sort of. And I mean, to me, just to be in the room, to hand out paper when he's speaking, for me was an honor, because I was learning so much. Even when he would speak with me informally, he was teaching me. And at one point in time, I mean, I think I got the sweetest fire ever. He called me in the office and he said, "How is business?" I said, "Good, I'm doing some work with you. I'm very happy, I'm comfortable. I left the bank and you're looking after me." He said, "And asked you, how is my business? How is your business?"
Oh boy, that must have hurt.
Oh, well, only after when I realized I was fired. But the truth is, he was actually encouraging me to go on and be everything that I could be. And I had the beauty the other day of being on an interview with him. When he admitted that he fired me, right? I didn't know, that's the beauty, when you fire somebody and they're not even aware. But he was so happy to see the work that I was doing, and now I'm able to speak with him both here internationally and do programs, and so it's a joy for him. It's also a joy for me to walk in his footsteps.
So it's been how many years, this mentorship relationship with Anthony Watkins?
About 25 years.
25 years.
Yeah.
What was the most hurtful thing he said to you? Be honest.
The most hurtful thing? Don, what you doing in my office? Because we had that discussion, But he's somebody who, he says, and a phrase I remember from him is, if the dream is big enough, the facts don't matter. And I had dreams, and I remember going to speak with him in St. Lucia, and Mr. Watkins, we all have respect for Mr. Watkins.
Yeah.
And he set a program, and yours truly went behind his back, and I added on to the program. I just find these people, they had all these pom-poms in their hand. Hello, they needed to finish to throw it up in the air. And I just went and whispered to him, "Hey, what, I'm doing something else, He just looked at me. He didn't stop me.
But you get buff.
Well, I get buff in the look, right? But I still did it. And what he admired is that I was willing to go beyond. And we need people to stretch us. We need people to go beyond.
Do you think that young persons are getting the opportunities that they should be getting in Trinidad and Tobago?
Sadly, not enough. I mean, there are people, we are either part of the problem or part of the solution. And to me, there needs to be a corporate Trinidad and Tobago, for example, that can afford it, needs to come on board more and do more for the young people. There are some programs outside there. I mean, the Republic Bank, for example, is doing its part. But there still needs to be more. It's not necessarily a PR thing, but we really have thousands of young people who are losing hope. I get calls for students who are suicidal. I actually have students who I mentor. They call me, they have both parents at home, and they call me daddy. Mother's Day, I got a call, Happy Mother's Day. I said, okay. I said, make sure and call me Father's Day too,
Maybe they were looking for Dion.
Probably.
But this program is all about positivity with you and Andrew Lewis. It's all about positivity. But the only positivity you don't want now in Trinidad and Tobago is COVID-19.
Yeah.
You don't want to be COVID-19 positive.
No.
And what struck me with the data when Dr. Hines was going through it on Friday, I believe, was the piece of data that says that between 25 and 49, we have the highest resistance to COVID vaccination. Does that surprise you as somebody who is working with that age group and somebody who has just exited that age group? Does that surprise you, and how can we reach persons in that age group at this critical time?
When you have people who don't have information, people get scared. And when people get scared, they don't make decisions. So right now we have a lot of people who may not have the information for whatever the reasons are, and there'll be hesitation, there'll be lots of things going on, but life goes on, you know what I mean? So we have to try and reach them. We still have to offer hope. I mean, for example, students who are at home, online schooling, and then people in school, that has now, to me, that has to be regularized, because students are really and truly, the online thing, they were not there, and they're still not there. 2 years have passed now, and students are still trying to, still struggling to get internet connection, still trying to keep up with the teacher. They're not on camera. They're very, very hurt, confused. And you could imagine if you had somebody who was an introvert before, where are they now? The extrovert has now become an introvert. So you can imagine we have to socialize young people differently at this point in time. They're not going to come back out and fit into society so easily. I mean, I know we open up in a couple of days and they but what are they coming out to do? What are they coming out to? They're frustrated. You know, it's like telling students when they come in school now, don't hug. Nah, I ain't see you for 2 years. I'm playing that, you know, take your little hug, you know. You know, take your little hug.
Well, I have the opportunity to I wouldn't say visit, but be part of places of worship across the country. I'm invited to services, and I go to services of all the religious groups. Yesterday I followed the service from the St. James Pentecostal Church, where Pastor Gillian Jilks was delivering the sermon. And she was very open, and I think she was referring to one of her children. She was talking about text talk, and the child must have been in the audience, and she was saying, "You can't have text talk with me." How has the communication changed across generations, not only because of the technology, but by other factors? In working with young persons, young adults, how has the communication changed? And if you have to give advice to parents, what would be the number one bit of advice you'd give on communication?
Two answers to that. One is, for example, now a youngster puts POS. POS is parent over shoulder.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was for the same.
Right. You see, that's exactly the difference. What is lacking now is that for there to be true impact, there has to be contact. And parents, you don't contact really on the phone. The real contact is in person. And even you have parents in a home, and the parent texting the child, and the child texting back the parent. So communication has broken down. And when you have a breakdown of communication, you have misunderstanding. So there's no contact. The child doesn't feel love. Giving a child a phone these days doesn't really say love. I mean, I give you something that you want to play with your friends and TikTok and whatever. But guess what? TikTok time going, you wasted time. I need to remind you that you have a purpose and that you're priceless. If they don't know that they're priceless, they keep giving discounts.
Well, that is the thing. There's a challenge. I must admit that I Google a lot of those acronyms, and I even have to Google some of the emojis, because they send a different twist on a face sends a different message, you know, and I might be one of those parents who are POS. But what you're looking forward to season 2, and what, given in the context of COVID, online schooling, some of the challenges, there's still great opportunities in the country. I want you to just tell me. I always hear this expression, Trinidad is a real place. What is your answer to that?
Right.
And what are your expectations from season 2?
Well, season 2 is in person, so we have people in a sort of makeshift studio, and we want real issues, but real issues not to remain negative, real issues to find a positive spin, because there's always an answer. And for example, I'll tell you again, you know I love words, so there might be problems outside there. Season 2, what we'll do out of problems, we'll take out the probe. So we probe, we search, we investigate, we look for meaningful answers. If you take out probe out of problems, you're left with LMS. LMS is look for meaningful solutions, not really and truly like my status, but look for meaningful solutions. So what we're doing is looking for meaningful solutions. We bring people on all over, people who work in the community. We have singers, we have all sorts of people to tell their story. And what is important, and why I love doing stuff with Andrew, is that Andrew has a story. People see him as a face on television. But Andrew has a story. When the wall fell on him in Brazil, I'd mentioned to Andrew, that's one of the best things happened to you. Because you have a fantastic story. And people don't believe that people who go through stuff, or who you see on television, go through stuff like everybody else. So what we do is bring the people you might sometimes look at and let you know that they have their stories too. And we give them a platform to tell their stories and again, share some positivity.
Well, we've spoken so much about Andrew, but Andrew could not be here, could not join us because of some technology problems, but we know Andrew well, and we know his work. I personally know his work in Vesigny, where he's doing work with the young people on yachting. I was quite surprised when I interacted with Andrew on that project, and the number of persons down in Vesigny, young persons who are keen on yachting and keen on developing himself. So maybe we'll get another opportunity after the launch of season 2 to talk to Andrew. And Trinidad is a real place. You didn't answer that. What do you say to people who say that in a cynical and sarcastic manner?
I kind of laugh a little bit, but then I look at the seriousness of where they're in error. So really and truly, it is a real place. We have real people, and it's all better when we all get along, when we make an effort to try and understand. I would say we don't have to get it, but once we start to understand each other and make the effort to understand, that's when we get along. You have your views, I have my views. How could we come together positively to make a better Trinidad and Tobago. Right now, this country needs all sectors on board, holding hands for us to go forward and do something meaningfully in this country.
So season 2 with Don, not Dion.
The Don,
You
yeah.
do ever bring Dion in?
No. Well, I represent him because we're identical twins.
Season 2 with Don and Dion and Andrew Lewis, positivity, particularly in relation to young people, young adults, and of course everything we do in this country, we do it for Trinidad and Tobago. So thank you very much, Don La Foucade. Thank you, Andrew, for being part of this program, and we're all looking forward to season 2, Positivity.
Yeah, thank you.